There was a time where polygamy was actually quite common in Singapore. In the 1950s, prominent Chinese guests will appear at government parties with their fifth or sixth wife in tow as a mark of their status. The practice was also documented by the colonial authorities, who noted that in Singapore, there is a custom to take more than one principal wife, although they must not be taken in the same place. This was the case for some Chinese immigrants who already had wives back in China and who got married again in Singapore. It was unusual for such immigrants to bring their families from China to Singapore, so the women hardly saw each other, and it was rare for issues to arise between them. Still, there were cases where the men's wives would all live under the same roof. According to one Singaporean, his grandmother was one of these other wives. There was no formal ceremony. She was simply brought over to his grandfather's house, paid her respects to the main wife, and started her life as a secondary wife. That family had 4 wives and 17 children. A man with 2 wives was also featured in the Straits Times around the 1950s. He said he loved neither of them, but one was a good cook and the other was a good washerwoman. This was retold by a women's rights activist, Shirin Foster, one of the key figures in the establishment of the Women's Charter. In 1952, Foster helped to set up the Singapore Council of Women, SCW, which sought to improve the lot of women. The council had the slogan, "One man, one wife." Within Singapore, the SCW reached out to the colonial government and various political parties as part of its efforts. The People's Action Party eventually adopted the SCW's slogan. In 1957, it passed a resolution supporting the principle of monogamy and promised to legislate monogamous marriage if it won the next election. After the PAP's landslide election victory in 1959, polygamy among non-Muslim men was eventually ended in 1961 with the establishment of the Women's Charter. The new law recognized existing polygamous marriages but outlawed polygamy from that point on.